Businesses can make a significant contribution towards nature conservation. IUCN's Business and Biodiversity Programme, or BBP, is working with the private sector in a number of ways to help the environment and reduce the business impact on nature. With me is Julia Marton-Lefèvre, IUCN's Director General. Julia, why do we engage in business?
Well, first of all, Nikki, IUCN's mission statement states very clearly that IUCN's mission is to influence, encourage, and assist society in the sustainable and equitable use of nature and natural resources. So society, of course, has an important part of society's business. So that's the basic response. The other part of the response is that I think we, having worked on these issues of nature and valuing nature for so many years, we have something to teach business. And of course, business also has something to teach us. So we do engage with business in order to influence the way they treat nature and in order for us to learn from their business orientation and the business-like way they carry on their business.
And what are some of the positive outcomes of the relationship between IUCN and businesses?
The basic positive outcome, I believe, is that we've gotten to know each other better. You know how the world is set up. Everybody is quite comfortable in their own worlds, in their own silos. So IUCN for many years has been comfortable in the conservation world. And now, because we've been engaging with business, we've gotten to know that world better and they've gotten to know us better. We have, concretely, we have some internship arrangement or staff exchange arrangements whereby some business people come and work with us and we send some people to work with business. That's helped a huge amount of learning on both sides, I believe.
What do we mean by the economics of biodiversity?
The economics of biodiversity attempts to really value nature and what nature gives us. After all, most people think that they get their food by simply going to the supermarket and getting a can of peas or buying a bunch of radishes. They don't really think about where this all comes from. This all comes from nature, and we need to pay for it in an appropriate way. And if we don't take care of nature, then nature will be able to give us less food, less water, less clean air to breathe, fewer forests to walk in. So let's put real value on what this all means to us. By putting value onto nature, we will certainly be able to appreciate it more.
TEEB is the economics of ecosystems and biodiversity. Why should TEEB make an impression on people?
IUCN was very encouraging the world in setting up TEEB, and as you know, we're on the advisory board of TEEB, and we work very closely with the TEEB group. At first, it started out to be a sort of a replica of the Stern study on the economics of climate change and the cost of action as opposed to the cost of inaction. And we realized that the world stood up and paid attention to the findings of the Stern study on climate, and we thought we don't always have to reinvent the wheel after all. We thought this was a very good thing to do also for biodiversity. Let's put a value on nature and let's appreciate it more that way. After all, this is the way our world works right now, and it probably will continue to work this way, is that when I buy something and I pay for it, I've had to make an effort to buy it, and I take care of it more. So that was the idea of TEEB, and I think that the TEEB study is, frankly, much more complicated than the climate study because biodiversity is both local and regional and national and global, so it's at different levels. But I think when the TEEB study put some numbers on what we have been taking for granted as free offerings of nature, I think then people will start to think we better take care of this much more.
Julia Marton-Lefèvre, thank you very much.